doesn't have pictures, but has something to tell me about mushrooms?
Mushrooms are the best.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of this park that's kind of up in Montecito. And there's a bunch of eucalyptus there. And there's a bunch of mushrooms growing in the grass under the trees. I'll find the name of the park.
Yeah, okay.
Can I see the picture? It was on a street next to Coastal.
Orange? Red and white banded? White shaggy monkey?
Actually, not much.
Yeah, exactly. Is it a duck? That's called artist's conch. No, that's not. That's called sulfur shell. Those are edible when they're younger, not when they're that old. And most people say that when they grow in eucalyptus, they're more likely to give you a stomach upset. They've never given me like a stomach upset, but they always don't land right. I just get like a weird I wonder if I'm going to be sick, kind of like rumbling in my gut. I've eaten them off carob trees, oak trees, and pine trees. All 3 times, all 3 different species. It was kind of like, it doesn't feel right. Does it taste so good? Plus, I'm just exploring, it's a way to explore the world, yeah.
Yeah, it says,
Yep. Yep, same thing. Yours is dried out too. Anybody else?
There were a lot at Kids World, like next to Texas Park, lots of like flat yellow ones. And
Yellow?
they were like orange.
like eggy white or like orange?
No, they were like brownish orange.
Yeah.
Like really flat, and then if they got kicked over, they were like more brown, greenish on the bottom.
Green, whoa.
I didn't have the phone or anything. So I didn't take pictures.
Well, when you say orange, I think chanterelles, which are one of the world's most sought after edibles in Santa Barbara, is a great place for those.
Well, they were like flat, and then the edges were kind of like red, like they weren't.
That sounds so much like a chanterelle.
What does a chanterelle look like?
Like what this guy is holding on the cover?
I don't want to give you like make you too excited about it.
Don't make me too excited.
Yeah, I guess they were a little more yellow than that.
I have a big problem when I get too excited. Whatever you're talking about is not what I'm talking about.
And there were a lot of like little white ones.
What's the biggest mushroom you've ever knocked down?
2 pages of chanterelle here. I have found.
I just see wacky like gross. You didn't show so fast.
Yeah, I mean they do grow tremendously large, and I have found some spectacular large mushrooms over the years. I have one photo. Yeah, that might be the biggest mushroom that I can remember finding.
Oh yeah. So is that like on the side of the tree or?
No, that was on that came out of the ground.
Oh my God.
You eat it?
Was that a meal?
You can see my son holding it.
Just like how
How did you cook it?
That's a white porcini, extremely sought after, but not very good when they're that big. Very.
So it might be them. I don't know. A lot of them got kicked over. And
Were they in oak tree? Or out of the ground?
they were on the ground.
How big were they again? Where were you? Okay, I'll just look around. What part about that?
So like here's the Kids World structure, and then the park next to it was like the gazebo.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're
We
talking
were in like that kind of grass.
I know exactly where you're talking. Yeah.
How do you prepare mushrooms? Like, do you have to cook them? Or?
Yeah, I don't usually eat mushrooms raw. It makes it more likely that they'll make you sick. There's a few mushrooms that I eat raw and a few mushrooms that I dry and bake with. There's like one that's very sweet. It's like butterscotch. day, very minimal water.
Yeah.
So I clean them without water as much as possible, break them up, cook them in bacon fat or in olive oil or in butter. My favorite is bacon fat. That's good. Yeah, everything cooked in bacon fat is good. Okay.
Have a funnel directly to the mouth.
Okay. Anybody else? More mushroom glory? Apples, like fire. All right. How did it go with your debate prep day yesterday?
Carl Sandridge officially dropped me in the debate. Really bad.
That's funny.
It's really bad.
I'm sure he didn't mean any harm. So here's my question. Much better than if Jose had been here. Pretty good for a sub, I guess, or total waste of my time.
Oh, where's like Jose would have done a better job, but it's fine.
Somewhere in the middle, maybe.
Oh, I got some issues.
What?
There's a message here because it's the sandwich.
That's funny. Anybody else? Other feedback on yesterday? Other feedback on yesterday? Nothing?
You miss. How was your trip?
My trip was glorious. It was really cold. My hands went numb. I was climbing in the shade. I went to a place near Nevada, and it was really, really cold. Like, my back muscles and triceps are cold from shivering. Like, no, they're sore from shivering. Like, my back is, like, really sore from, like, the tension of, like, being, like, all uptight and cold. It was really cold. I fell because my hands went numb and I couldn't really feel what I was holding. So from underneath, it's like, yeah, that looks like it'll hold. And then I started to put weight on it. It's like, oh no, that's not good enough. I didn't notice that I stabbed a really sharp little piece of rock. And then my finger got stuck. So when I pulled it out, I was like, ah! And like, I pretty much like was stuck into something really sharp. That hurt. It was really glorious though. I went to sleep, like right next to the fire, and right as I looked up to see the stars, I was like, ah. And I could see the Luxor light column from the casino that looks like a pyramid. So I was like, I love the wilderness. Oh, Las Vegas is over there. I got to the top of this really amazing, remote, challenging route that's really, really steep, and in this dark box canyon, and 7 pitches of like honest to goodness, like really sustained, like very steep climbing. And we get up there, and I'm talking to my buddy, like, dude, should get out of here, but gotta enjoy this view first. And I look around, like, oh, wait a minute, and you get to see like Las Vegas, like right behind this hill. Like, you're not that far from Vegas. Like, you can probably drive to Vegas in 15 minutes from there, so half an hour maybe. Yeah, but it was really cool. I had a great time. Very cold, very good climbing. I climbed a lot. I climbed like sunrise to sunset, Saturday and Sunday. And like sunrise until 2 yesterday, 2:30. That was rough. A little sore, but it felt good. I'm pretty hard. I fell on easy stuff, but then I climbed some hard stuff. So what else? Anything else about my absence, trips, paperwork? If you think anything stamped, bring it up to me later. Okay. What about post labs? How are we doing on post labs? Anybody have questions about the 2 post labs that are due tomorrow?
Yeah, how do you want us to color the first one?
You can color it however you want. Maybe if you use green for high diversity and red for low diversity, it'll be pretty intuitive.
Oh, I just did the colors you recommended, but like in a line, like do you want us to color them?
Like around zeros, you're going to have a lot of diversity on the land pieces.
And less in the water, yeah.
Yeah, and in the water, you're around 30s.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you'll just have like a little rainbow transition that doesn't match ocean and land.
Gotcha. Mine just like a straight line across the latitude.
Oh, and then maybe from like 15 to 15. Right, like, so you center the stripe at 30 or at 0, but you can make it thick enough until it reaches, like, split the difference in colors.
Okay, so it should be split.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Anybody else? No other post-lab questions, even though 2 of them are due tomorrow? All right, so we're on number 43 3 today in assignment 6.2. So let's get ready for that. Because my aides had access to the room when I wasn't here yesterday, and
when it's all in tabs, it's a little confusing.
I know. It's also a little confusing when they don't know how to spell.
Also, only one T. No, I think they should be that age. I think they just were making a joke if you have a hand, did they? Not very funny.
That's happened before too. Doesn't everybody laugh about having AIDS?
I know, it's really comical.
I have a mug that says I love my AIDS and misspelled. Alright. Now, I'm on question 43. Talking about the Grant line and poverty leads to population growth. My notes say that's where we left off. Am I right? I'm always right. Okay, so look up. This is called the Grant line. Some dude was trying to map all countries that are above average or below average.
Did he define average?
At the time, he was measuring their development status. So it was like the Human Development Index before the Human Development Index. The Human Development Index gives you a value from 1 to 100. Grant said everybody's either more developed or less developed. The more developed nations are blue, the less developed nations are red. There are, coincidentally, a few other patterns visible in this. The colonial superpowers from the colonies, the whiter countries. Yes, South Africa counts as a white country because at that time it was an apartheid state and there were black people there who didn't really have the same access to government. They were just living there, but they weren't really benefiting from government or running the government. Singapore, especially at that point, was seen as like the European entry point to Asia, where a lot of the development in Singapore, at least at that point, was being done by white people. So some people say these are the white and non-white countries. There are obviously exceptions, like China is, as you may know, not very white. Yeah?
What year?
I don't know how to check
China is less developed on that one.
Yeah, because back then it was.
Yeah, that's right.
China also spoke that.
I'm going to guess 1980 something, but I'm checking my
No, I was just saying, I think it's
e-device. Grant line year. 1970s, Willie Brandt. The Brandt line proposed in the 1970s, the divide between economies. All right. But there is another interesting thing here. One of the other things that you see in this graph, I'm not sure we talked about this yet. Remember that the red countries